Friends, I'm going to give it to you raw and from the heart. You need to expect the best in life, and you need to learn to let go. Those two skills can turn a negative experience into a positive one. If you can just learn how to let go of your control of the situation. I don't want to complain about my life, but for the first time in the last couple of years, I've started to manage a lot of different complicated things. And they're all blessings to me, but they all require quite a bit of thinking, stress, and, you have to be on top of things if you want to have nice things. And it's hard. But sometimes you're not going to fix the problems. If you have nice things and big things, sometimes things are going to have problems. And sometimes you're not going to be able to fix that problem. And when I was younger, I would stay up all night worrying about it and playing out all the different scenarios that could go wrong and how much money I could lose and how I could have made the decision differently not to go that way and how I could have done something different. And I didn't realize hindsight's 2020. And of course, you're going to see what you did wrong. And of course, there's always going to be turns in life. It's like turns in a car when you're driving. There's going to be turns in life and you're going to have to move yourself. And these bumps in life are just a sign that you need to move yourself. And you need to have the sense on where to move yourself. And that comes from your self-love, self-knowledge, and spiritual growth. And when you're in touch with those things, you'll be able to make the true decision, the right decision for yourself and for your fulfillment and for your happiness and for your best interaction with the people and world around you. Those decisions come with a lot of agony, without a lot of thinking back and forth, because you know yourself, you know your values. And a lot of times decisions come with consequences. You can't have nice things and you can't have great relationships and you can't have the things that people want in life without taking risks to get them. Like every great relationship, you're taking a risk. You probably will lose that person someday. You definitely will. Either you'll die or they will, but they could leave. They could cheat. They could do so many things, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if you're constantly thinking about those things happening, then you're giving that energy, and what you give your mental energy to and your assumptions harden into fact. So what you think about becomes reality. Your thoughts, your present thoughts create your future reality. So the more you think about what you don't want, the more you're going to get it. So it's hard to let go and be positive. You have to do the right thing and let go of the outcome and realize that things aren't always going to go the way you think they are. And there's different paths in life, and we have to be decisive and take one. Either you sit on the sideline or you're willing to make mistakes, willing to get hurt. And if you're not willing to get hurt, you won't be in a great relationship. That relationship will cause you pain at some point. Even dealing with feminine woman's emotions, there's always going to be some pain and stress for you. And usually there's a lot of other stresses involved. There's a price to everything that you want. Nothing really worth having comes for free. And if you want to maintain your sanity when time comes to be patient and you have to be okay with things not going your way. Every good business person and every good partner in a relationship has these qualities, that they're patient and they don't get negative when things aren't going their way. And it's just so hard. This is the hardest thing to get over. And this is where addictions come out of. This is where all the things we do to numb it come from. And I'm not necessarily against that, but I think that, you can use your meals as a time to relax. You can use the time that you watch content as a time to relax and just, take it easy. But what that content is does affect it. So the worst thing you could possibly do is doom scrolling. So searching for all the things that are going wrong in the world online. And especially with your partner, the worst thing you could do would be to go through their social media, phone, any of those things. Because you're going to see things that are going to want to make you ask questions, and then they're going to know that you violated their privacy. And even if you ask, it shows that you don't fully trust them. So I used to think it was okay to ask to see their phone and stuff, like your partner. And I used to think full transparency is okay. But at this point, unless I clearly saw something that concerned me, I wouldn't ask about it. And I'd just be trusting until I got a reason not to, because no good comes out of any evil thoughts. So you have to keep all that negative shit about the world and negative possibilities with your partner, and thinking about your parents getting sick, and thinking about you getting sick, and thinking about all the things you don't want. Those have to go. And you really have to let go in life. Learn to let go in life. And you have to learn how to also go into situations expecting the best. So even though you've been knocked down, you've been traumatized, you've been in bad relationships, you've had bad jobs, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. Does it mean that we might have to adjust your behavior and thinking patterns? Absolutely. But there's nothing inherently wrong with you, and you're not a bad person because you've had some bad outcomes. But you could learn from it. So there's always learning in every situation, but you have to expect the best. And even when bad things happen to you, you have to expect, when you're going to something, what you want and picture it before you go in there. And it's pretty easy. Like, every time when I was single and I was on online dating, every time I would go on a date with a girl, I, of course, build up chemistry in the first few messages and then ask them to meet. And then I'd picture kissing them at the end of the meeting. And of course that happened because I picture it in my mind. I picture how it would go, the feeling of it, all the things from what I've read and talked to her on her profile, and exchanging words and exchanging flirtations. And I keep things very short. And then I say, like, I want to meet up, because you can never tell unless you meet up what someone's real personality is like. So I meet up, and then I picture this happening. And then if you picture what you want happening, it happens. Like, it always happens because I picture it in my mind. And I picture a lot of other things. And you don't have to just do this with dates. You can do this with job interviews. You can do this with parking spots. If you start small with like parking spots at the store, but you can manifest the result you want. And you can, when you get a negative thought, don't fight it, don't suppress it, but just let it sit with you for a while and be like, This is not from my source. This is not from me. This is not from love, bliss, forgiveness, and what I'm about. This is negative, and I do not want to bring this into my thought patterns and into my life. So I'm aware that it's coming up, and it's for whatever reasons. But whatever reasons there are for me to be nervous, it's all for the greater good. And I'm being taught a lesson in patience right now. I'm being taught a lesson in trust right now, and a lesson in vulnerability. You have to be willing to get hurt, and you can't be constantly worried about what's going on with your finances or with your partner or with your health or all those things. You have to do everything in your power to make sure those are all healthy and let go. And when you picture the worst things happening, people bring on cancer, people bring on disease, people bring on all sorts of things because they can't stop thinking about it. I can't tell you how many people I know that take so many supplements, live clean, all that stuff, and they drop dead because they're constantly thinking about what they don't want. How can I avoid getting this disease? So they're trying to think about how to avoid this. So they live in fear and they live in doubt that whatever they're doing is protecting them. And then I met people who eat what they want, do what they want, and they're mostly blue-collar people who aren't too worried about supplements and that kind of thing. But they pretty active and they eat what they want and they live how they want. And they don't live in fear of cancer or any of those things. And they don't get it because they're not bringing it on. They're living their life. And the same thing goes for cheating. If you constantly think about cheating, your partner will probably cheat on you. And it's happened to me personally. And it's happened to a lot of people that I've known anecdotally. And it's happened to like thousands of people in the world where if you constantly think about your partner cheating, they'll probably cheat on you at some point because you're giving that thought energy. So when you're letting go, you need to be doing something that you enjoy doing, whether it's relaxing, whatever the appropriate thing, or throwing yourself into your work or hobbies that grow you as a person. That's why I also wanted to talk about feeder sets. Feeder sets are amazing. They're an exercise that you do in between going to the gym at home to get growth on a muscle, to like on your, especially like your arms, your upper body. This is how you get growth on your upper body pretty quickly. I wouldn't do it with lower body squats and stuff because you're going to hurt yourself, but you can go substitute it with running and stuff like that, but we don't need to get into that. But what feeder workouts are, so let's say there's something that triggers you or whatever, something that's out of my control and there's nothing I can do about it. It's a situation that cannot be solved tonight. So you need to get your sleep, you need to do everything, but if you really need to get something off your mind, in between workouts, you want to pump blood and nutrients into your muscles. So how you do that is a feeder workout, and smaller muscles like your biceps, triceps, and that kind of thing. But I also do it with chest, which is a larger muscle. Is you can do feeder workouts to pump blood and nutrients into the muscle. And how you do that is high rep, high volume exercises that you're doing pretty quickly. So you're not doing it slowly. Like when you want to get the full range of motion and get like a super good burn, you're going to do it slowly, especially while going down. But with the feeder workout, you just do it quick. But sometimes I'll slow it up just to feel the burn. You can. But you can mix it up. So I'll do like all sorts of, like, so I'll do my arms like this. I always bring it up to shoulder. Then I'll do bicep curls. And then I'll do the triceps like this. Do the overhead tricep extension. And you do like this. And you can do, for the forearms, you do like these. All different variations. And then you can do the curl and then twist. Curl and twist with the dumbbell. So come down, curl and twist. And that will just grow your forearms, send blood to your forearms, send blood to your arms. And then don't forget to do the tricep extensions, because the triceps are the biggest part of your arm. And that's what pops out the most when you wear a shirt and stuff. So if you do the tricep extensions, they'll grow. And you want to be doing a whole lot of those in between workouts. And yeah, you're going to be a little more sore. Like, I'm a little more sore when I do the bench press and stuff, but it's not like you're tearing up the muscle a lot. You're just getting the muscle moving while it's recovering, because you're doing lightweight. So I do this with 15s, and the heaviest I go is 25s, because that's what I have at home to do warm up and to do feeders. And you just do the feeders. So do 100 reps. Do 150 reps, but do it till you absolutely can't do another one, like to failure, till you absolutely can't do another one. And maybe you could even do 2 sets of that before bed, after dinner, before bed. You're not going to throw up because you're not doing squats or anything. So if you just, every time you're stressed out, you can do something like a feeder workout. But if you do that every single day on your arms, there's no way your arms are not going to start growing and getting vascular, which means like the veins coming out and stuff like that. And that's small things you can do, even though if you're not like Brad Pitt in the face, and even though if you might have a couple pounds on you, there's certain things like forearms to women are like cleavage to a man. I've heard that from a lot of women, that they love guys with huge forearms, and that's like turns them on and gets this primal thing going in them, like when we see cleavage on like in a big bra, right? And then let's say a black race bra with 2 huge breasts in it, you're gonna get turned on if you see it. So that's how they feel with forearms. But just do it for yourself, and you can see growth in a week. Yeah, it's going to be, feeder workouts are painful, and you have to stretch so you don't get hurt and don't get tight. But it does hurt, and it's painful. But if you don't see extreme growth in like 2 weeks of doing that, and then you have to do your normal workouts on top of that. This is just for aesthetics. It's just for your arms, so your arms look better. But it's not really doing much for your body at all. So you have to do your normal workouts, your squats, your compound exercises, cardio, all those things. All like circuit training. But the feeders are a great way to get results quicker. And it's funny because you're not like tearing the muscle up, because you're not doing heavy. Do something that's light when you're doing these, something that you can do 100 repetitions of. So 15 or 20 pound weights at the most, and just crank them until you can't anymore. And I guarantee you'll see results. And you're going to tire your nervous system out, and you're going to sleep like a baby after that, if you're doing it right. But there's positive things like that. You could either do that, or you could hit the bottle, right? So what's the better choice? Doing a feeder, or hitting the bottle, or binge eating, which I like to eat. There's so many things you could do instead of the right thing. So it's simpler than you think. If you don't have dumbbells, get the straps. I have the resistance bands, the easy bands with the handles. Like, looks like these. Just these little bands with the handles here. Target, Walmart. Marshalls. Get some of those and crank those sons of bitches. Do it in the morning when you wake up, while you're doing your affirmations, while you're saying positive things to yourself. Crank them sons of bitches and see your arms will grow like crazy in like 2 weeks. And let me know if you tried this. I just wanted to give it to you raw. Give you my heartfelt love through this video and give you what I've learned. And just remember, expect the best out of life. It's a beautiful life if you choose that option. And unfortunately, you're going to have to choose whether you want to have a beautiful life, a fulfilling life, full of gratitude, accepting whatever's happened to you and growing from it, or you can stay mired in the bullshit, in your negative habits, and in your worry, doubt, fear, and always thinking, worried about the next thing that's going to go wrong. So it is a mindset thing, and it all starts from within. That's the core of what I'm saying. It all starts from within. So you have to find it within you to think in a way that serves you. Because if you're not happy with where you're at, then you haven't been thinking in a way that serves you. Because it all starts with your thoughts. And that goes to your heart. And then your heart makes your actions. How you treat the people around you. How you love the world. Are you penetrating the world? Are you penetrating the world with your love and giving your best gift to the world? And same thing with your woman. Are you penetrating her with your best gift and giving her an unbelievable experience every time? Or are you a two-pump chump and you're just poking the world and you're poking her? You choose. You choose the type of man you want to be. And this is also for my women out there. It's not just for men. I know I've been doing a lot of men's content lately, but I love my women out there. I love you. You are all goddesses. I know that maybe I wouldn't get along with some of you, but that's neither here nor there. Like, women are amazing. And if you're a masculine woman who dates women, you can use my dating advice. And even if you're a woman who dates men, listen to this for the type of man you want, because this is a man who's not going to hurt you. And he might have the same things that turn you on about the toxic men, but he's going to keep it real with you, and he might hurt you, but he's not going to fuck you over and really, screw you, but just the normal human interaction, treat you like a human being. So this is for everyone, but I do have my niche, which is younger men who daddies, uncles, and whatever football coach didn't tell them what in the hell to do and how to deal with the mating process and the courtship process and how to satisfy a woman. So I'm here for you. And mindset is at the heart of everything. So yeah, relationships are my niche, communication's my niche, confidence is my niche, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to get what you want, and you're also going to harm everyone around you. And I know, because I've been there. I've been a negative person. I've been a worrier. I've been the guy who is always playing out every scenario in my mind of what could go wrong. And you have to stop. I know it's a protection thing that you're trying to do that to protect yourself so you don't get into that situation. And it's only human, and it's one of our human flaws to think like that. And humans have flaws, and that's okay, but you need to be aware of this. And you need to not identify with that. You cannot identify with your fear. You cannot identify with your doubt. I'm telling you, once you start identifying with your fears is when things go south. So you have to understand that it all starts in here, and it's a lot simpler than you think. It's not so complicated. A lot of these books I've read, and I bought a lot of books that I regret on Audible audiobooks. A lot of poppycock that's so complicated, and they say you must eat this and you must do this and all this stuff that's impossible to do for a normal person. And I'm just telling you a healthy way to think, what I think is a divine way to think, how God wants us to interact with Him, and is not religion. This is spirituality, but it's also neuroscience, and this has been proven in science as the way of thinking that brings huge results. And manifestation is real, and what you think about does become reality, and you do have to let go, though. If you're attached to that, that creates a repellent energy. When you're overly attached to things, people, things, situations, items, money, when you're too attached and you hold on to sand, that sand will fall right out of your hands. But when you hold it with a loose hand, but a loving but loose hand, it stays in there. So I'm saying you can't hold on to things with a tight fist. Excuse me. You have to let it go. You have to do your best with what the knowledge you have and let it go. And I'm giving you the knowledge you need for the correct way to think. So if you need coaching, I'm going to put my information below. Love you all. Take care. I'll be talking to you soon.